So Simmers, very often I see people commenting under my videos that they are experiencing a specific bug in their game. Sometimes this is just a vent because they're frustrated with the game, but a lot of times people are actually trying to find a fix for that specific bug, or they're trying to figure out if they are the only one experiencing that bug in the game. To hopefully offer a little bit of a solution, in this video I would like to share with you a couple of steps that you can take as a player yourself to hopefully resolve the bugs, and if the bugs are persistent, to check if other people are experiencing it, and if not, how to report it to EA so that they can actually fix it. Hopefully by the end of this video, you feel a bit more confident in either managing your own game or providing information to EA so that they can hopefully fix the bugs that you're experiencing in your game. The very first thing that I always recommend people to do is actually repair your game. And I'm going to explain what exactly this does. So repairing your game is actually done through the EA app. I'm going to be completely honest, if you're launching The Sims through Steam, I do not know how to do this, because I don't use Steam and I actually don't even know if it's an option. You probably have an option to repair your game, but in this video, I'm just going to focus on the EA app because that's the one that most people use. If you're in your EA app, you're going to click on Manage, and there's just a button that says Repair. If you click that button, what the game is actually going to do is it's going to check all of the files from the game, sometimes re-download them and reinstall them. Don't worry, you're not actually going to lose any game data. It's not going to override any of your saves, but what it's just doing, it's just checking all the code and making sure that there are no like corrupted lines or anything in there. Sometimes this can completely resolve the problem, so I would always recommend doing this first, especially if you've installed mods and you've later removed them, but there's still some issues. This could also be a very crucial step. Once you've done this and that actually did not fix your problem, then it's time to head over to option number 2. And to no one's surprise, that is actually going to be removing your mods from the game. If you're not playing with mods, you can completely skip this step, but if you are playing with mods, or if you have ever played with mods, this is actually a very crucial one. The first one is actually going into the folder where you have your mods. If you have mods installed, you should know where this is, but just as a little refresher, that should be Documents, Electronic Arts, The Sims 4. In here, you'll find your mods folder. Just take out this entire folder. Just drag and drop it to somewhere else. You don't immediately have to delete all your mods, but just drag and drop it into a safe location like your desktop, for example, so that you don't have to re-download them later. Don't be silly and actually delete the mods folder, because then you're going to have to find all your mods again later if that turned out not to be the issue. And another file that you have to make sure to delete if you're removing mods is the local thumbnail cache.package file. This is a file that basically holds the cache of like your latest game information, so to say. And that means that if you've played with mods, there sometimes could be information lingering in there from mods that were loaded, specifically script mods. So if you remove your mods from the game, make sure to delete this file as well. Do not worry, you can delete it just safely. It's just gonna create a new version when you restart your game, but then that one should be clean, meaning that it shouldn't be causing any bugs that are mod related. The reason I'm saying if you ever used mods, even if you have completely removed your mods, but you never deleted this file, it could still be that there is information lingering in there. So just make sure to delete that file, even if you used mods like 2, 3, 4 months ago. Also, obviously, after every step, make sure that you launch your game and test if the bug that you're experiencing is still there. Because if it is, then you know that you have to continue to the next step, but if it is not, you can actually assume that it's resolved and you can just continue playing. If it ends up being one of your mods that is causing the issues, I'll link a video down below how you can figure out which of your mods is broken, where you can find correct documentation on mods, and all the most important information on how to actually keep up with your mods and keep them organized. But that's a full separate video, so I'll link it down below. But in case it's not your mods and you have figured out that even without your mods, this bug still persists, it is time to actually move on to step number 3. Step number 3 is just starting a completely new save file. This is also something that you can do when you have removed your mods or when you have repaired your game. I think this is sort of an in-between step that you can just try in every scenario, but sometimes a bug is very specific to a specific save file. This could be because the save file is older. This could be because the save file has like legacy data from pack updates or something in there. So sometimes just starting a new save file and seeing if the bug is there is actually helpful for you to understand where this bug is coming from. This doesn't necessarily resolve the bug, but it gives you very important information that you can then pass on to the Sims team. Something that is important here is if you figured out that you actually had issues with mods, sometimes those mods can have a lasting impact on a save file. Unfortunately, modding is always at your own risk. So if you start a brand new save file and that doesn't have any issues, but in your current save file, the issue persists even though you have removed your mods, it could be an issue that is related to mods. And then the best thing that I can recommend is just uploading your Sims to the gallery, uploading their house to the gallery, and basically continuing to play with that specific storyline and Sims outside of the save file that you're experiencing the bugs in. Once you have narrowed down that it is actually something that is unrelated to mods and also happens in a new save file or sometimes happens in specific save files, then it's actually time to start looking if other people are also experiencing these bugs and if they are not, how you can actually report the bug. For that, we're going to go into the EA forums, and I'm going to make sure that the link to this website is in the description box down below, so that if you want to follow along or if you actually want to report a bug, you can easily find it. So this is the specific bug reports page for The Sims 4. And this is not only a page where you can find other bugs that people have. This is not only a page where you can report bugs. It's also a page where you can actually see what The Sims is currently working on in their laundry list. We literally had an update 2 days ago, so currently the laundry list is empty. There are no bugs that are currently being fixed because all the bugs that they fixed, which was over 150, that was actually released 2 days prior to recording this video. However, you can see in here that there are like incomplete reports that have actually registered a bug that is not full. There is a full list of fixed bugs, so you can actually find if a bug that you used to have is actually fixed now. And this information basically gives you all the important information that you need when it comes to whether your game is working properly or not. Obviously, it is not super useful to start scrolling this page and trying to find the one bug that you're experiencing, because that could take a while. So they actually have a little search bar up here that says found a bug, check if it's new. Let's say that we're going to look here for crops resetting to dirt. It says your bug is unique. Tell us more. In this case, I actually know for a fact that this is not a unique bug, but the way that I phrased this bug means that the tool is thinking that this is a bug that no one has. I know that crops actually resetting to dirt piles is a bug that a lot of people are experiencing with seasons because I've heard a lot of people talk about it. However, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't log it. You can try different descriptions of the title. You can try and see if there's like a way that you can write it down so that it actually pulls up, because if you do find a bug that you actually experience yourself, you can upvote it. I don't know if you're familiar with Reddit, but this is a very similar thing. You basically say, yes, I'm also experiencing this bug. Please fix it for me too. To upvote something, you do have to log in with your EA account on the website. However, that's just the same account that you use for your EA app, so you should know the login for that. However, let's say that indeed the bug that you're trying to report is completely new and no one is experiencing it yet, or the system is not finding the bug that you're trying to report with the words that you're using, then it is actually time to go and report it. What you then do is you type it here. So crops resetting to dirt, and then it creates a button. So basically, if your bug is something that the system doesn't recognize, then the button to report a bug pops up. You can't get to this button unless you actually type and search for something. Once you click here, you can report the bug. So let's actually do that, and then I'll show you what it brings. Here, it'll prompt you to write a title, which is basically just the short description of what you're experiencing. And then here you can describe everything and anything. The more you've tested, the more steps you've done, the more steps from earlier in this video you've actually taken, the more information you can give here. This is where you can describe whether you've had mods, whether you took them out, whether you started a new save file, all of these important things, like all of these steps, the fact that you've already done them, the fact that you've repaired your game and all of these things is going to help vastly, because if you don't do all these things and you immediately skip to this step and you immediately log a bug report, the Sims team is literally just going to tell you to do all the things that I'm telling you in this video. They're first going to suggest to repair your game. They're then going to suggest to take out your mods. It just saves a lot of time if you do all of those things prior to logging a bug report. However, if you got to this point and you want to log your bug report, write as much and as detailed description as you can. Try to describe what is happening in your game, what you expected to happen, and why you think it is wrong that it is not happening, or when the thing that is happening doesn't seem correct to you, describe why it doesn't seem correct to you, because the more context you give and the more information you give, easier it is for the Sims team to understand how they should be able to fix it. You can also upload attachments. This is if you are experiencing a specific bug in a specific save file. Let's say the bug persists in your legacy save, but it doesn't happen in brand new save files. You can actually attach your save file to this specific post so that the Sims team can investigate your save file where you're experiencing the bug to help them figure out what is going wrong. Next to that, you can actually give it tags, which is something that if you want other people to find your bug, is going to be super important. It helps you tag what kind of bug it is. It helps you tell the Sims team whether you're on PC or console, or if you're using Steam, where it is happening, stuff like that. And not only is this going to help the Sims team figure out how to help you better, it's also going to allow other players to find your bug. And like I showed earlier with the upvote system, the more votes your bug gets, the higher the chances that it actually gets resolved. Meaning that the better you describe your problem and the better title you give it, aka the less lazy you are with reporting your bugs, the higher the chances that it actually gets upvotes and that it gets noticed by the team and hopefully gets fixed. Once you're done writing all of that, you can actually publish it. You can even add photos and stuff like that, so you can get pretty descriptive and you can get pretty detailed with all of this. So make sure that you provide all the information that you have and that you've gathered prior to actually going to this page. And once you're done, you're just going to hit publish, and then it's going to show up here. And because it's linked linked to your account, it should actually give you updates on your email address. So when someone votes up your idea, you can turn that off with your email notification settings, of course. But when someone upvotes your bug, you actually get a little notification when the Sims team moves the status of your bug report to the next phase, or the fact that they're actually going to resolve it. You should receive a notification as well. All of these things to just keep you in the loop of what is going on. That is everything that I wanted to tell you about logging bug reports, about how to potentially resolve your own bugs, and be just a little bit more independent and a bit more in control of what is happening with your game. Let me know in the comments down below if you have any questions. I can't promise that I'll be able to help you because unfortunately I'm not tech support for The Sims. So if you're going to start commenting all of your bugs on this post, I'm literally just going to repeat with the link to this video so you can refollow the tutorial. But other than that, if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to think along. And if this video was helpful to you, please toss it a cheeky like. And if this is the first time that you're seeing a video of mine, feel free to check out my channel. I make a bunch of Sims content, but also other comfy games. So if that sounds like your cup of tea, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and notification bell. And with all of that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys on the next one. Bye, everyone!